Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist, here on the Intuitive Therapist podcast. So happy you're with me and that I'm with you. Atlanta's getting hot, y'all. Hot, hot, hot. We are starting to get into our heavy heat where we got the humidity. Yeah. I mean, I love the heat, y'all. Summer is my favorite time, but the heavy heat's hard. I'll have to say that too as a Southerner. Anyway, today's going to be a good day. We're going to talk about something really cool. And I want to talk about intuition again. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, but I'm going to talk to you about some stuff that's in my book. And I want to talk to you about the benefits of connecting with and using your intuition. And I'm also going to talk to you about how you can recognize how your intuition shows up. Okay? So I want you to imagine a tennis match, not just any tennis match, but the ultimate tennis match where the greatest players compete to become the world champions. Strategy, thinking, and instinct are all used in an attempt to win every time, right? Every day our minds have an idea about how we're going to show up in the championship court of our lives. Are we struggling and getting easily distracted by our senses? Or are we enthusiastically using all of our resources to stay focused and defeat the opponent? All throughout the day, whether you know it or not, you use both your thinking mind and your intuitive mind, and you're in a constant state of refocusing from one to the other. Busy heads, busy schedules, deadlines, and daily obligations can get in the way of receiving intuitive messages. So to hear that inner voice, the thinking mind has to first become quiet and allow the intuitive portal to open up and offer its messages. Have you ever tried to silence your mind? Like, seriously, y'all, it's next to impossible. I can't stand it when people say, go into meditation and quiet your mind. I will tell you this, as honest as I can be, my brain will not stop being busy. And really the only people that I know of that can quiet their minds are people that have been meditating for years and years and years and years. And even though I still can't quiet my mind. It's just crazy busy. It really is next to impossible for most of us. And only those people, like I said, who've meditated for years can achieve that. So it helps us to acknowledge that our mind really is going to be on constant go, constant communication with us. It's like a chatterbox 24/7. If you took the time out to count how many thoughts you have in just 1 minute, y'all would be really surprised by how busy your thinking mind really is. There are thousands of thoughts that run on automatic pilot while you're awake, most of which you're completely unaware. So if we consider that there are 1,440 minutes in a day, that's a lot of thinking, y'all, that's going on. Your mind is an automatic idea generator working independently of your awareness. Yet when you consciously engage your mind and intentionally take notice of what you're thinking, as well as how your thinking impacts your daily function, you realize how complementary your use of both the thinking and the intuitive mind can be in decision making. Right? People come to me expecting to learn how to live their lives more effectively, right? I help them best by teaching them how to trust their gut instinct and how to employ practical information to make choices that are in their best interest. And really, if they learn these skills, they're going to be better able to connect with their innate power to powerfully change their lives through their feelings, beliefs, and actions. And they learn that taking certain risks can be more comfortable for them when they make choices that they're aligned with in the highest versions of themselves. So I'm going to give you a couple examples because these kind of things, they show up for me all the time, okay? And then I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of your intuition. So let's say you've been working on a project summary and you feel stuck. Words aren't coming out right and you're not sure what steps to take next to write it so that it clearly expresses your vision. Something's missing, y'all, but you can't put your finger on it. You become frustrated, right? Brain starts to fart away, and you cannot think for the life of you. You'll say to yourself, if I could only figure out this one thing, then I'd be able to finish the project and go have some fun. But man, I can't, it's just not coming. Suddenly you get the urge to go to the bathroom. You meander to the bathroom, use the facilities, wash your hands. I hope y'all wash your hands. Take a paper towel from the dispenser, and lo and behold, boom. The very details that you needed to complete the project come subtly and suddenly into your awareness. You're home free. You go back to your computer with a renewed fervor and a sense of accomplishment. What happened? Well, you occupied your thinking mind and let your creative mind receive the download. That's intuition. Here's another example. You notice your gas tank is on E. And while you know your car well, you know that you could probably make it to work and back if you wanted to push it, but you decide to go whiz into the gas station and fill up your tank before heading to work. Funny thing is, that happens on your drive home. Is that traffic is backed up for miles, and you think to yourself, wow, if I hadn't listened to the nudge to fill up my gas tank this morning, I'd be in big trouble on the side of the road without gas. That is intuition. Third example, you pick up your phone to call a friend. No biggie, right? She just popped into your mind, so you decide to call her. When she answers the phone, she says, I was just thinking about you. I was about to call you or text you. I'm so glad you called. Kind of need to talk. That's intuition. That's also telepathy, and that's a whole nother thing, but it's also intuition. Example number 4. You're in the grocery store with your list, but you know that there's something else that you need, but you didn't write it down. You forgot. And as you stroll down the aisle, you happen to stop and think about the forgotten item on your list. You realize that, you know what? You're in the exact part of the aisle that you need to be, in the exact direction in which you're facing, in the exact place that you're looking, and you find the exact item that you forgot. Coincidence? Nope. No coincidence, y'all. That's intuition. That's your guidance. 5th example. This is the last example. You're heading out of your office for the day, and out of the corner of your eye, you see an umbrella laying on the table, right? You see your umbrella. You're heading out of your house, not the office, and you see the umbrella, and you haven't heard the weather report yet, but it's like you're taking a second look at it. And you go, all right, I'll just pick it up, whatever, and head out the door just in case. What do you know? It rains cats and dogs that day, and you smile because guess what? You're not getting soaked. That is intuition. Intuition are these subtle nudges, ideas, urges. Just they're so subtle. You can miss them in a heartbeat. But they're amazing. And they really do help you. If you listen to them, they really do help you move through your life. So, I could name 100 examples, thousands of examples, but really, can't you see how your intuition has guided you, even though maybe you haven't labeled it that way? So, think about this. I'm going to go through this list, kind of like a little quiz. I want you to think about this, and maybe you can write these down, the answers, either rarely, sometimes, or often, and just kind of gauge yourself about how connected you are to your intuition. Rarely, sometimes, or often. When you hear the phone ring, you usually know who's calling. Or when you distract yourself, you get immediate answers to your problems. What about this? I know when someone is not telling the truth. Rarely, sometimes, or often. When I enter a room, I can feel the energy. That's empathic. Rarely, sometimes, or often. If I get bad vibes, I'll make a different decision. What about this? There are many coincidences in my life. Or I believe in spirit guides or angels. What about I trust myself to make decisions? Rarely, sometimes, or often. What about I get chills when someone speaks truth or I speak truth? I see similar numbers or patterns often. I know things before they happen. When I get the urge to do something, I follow through. I get answers when I ask questions in my mind. I feel safe and protected even when I'm alone. I can tell which feelings are mine and which are not. So all of these things are connected to intuition, and really the benefits of intuition are many. Helps you make decisions. It decreases your anxiety. It increases your self-confidence. It increases your efficacy. You actually feel calm because you're in flow. You're able to solve way more problems because you move out of the way, and your thinking mind isn't ruling the day. You're able to find things that you think you've lost. Your relationships improve. You have a better insight into others, and you're able to take charge of your life. I want you to take a moment, just in your mind, or actually I kind of like encouraging people to write these things down. Make a list. Maybe even take a pad of paper with you today as you go out, whatever part of the day that you're in. Give yourself an hour or two to kind of notice nudges and see how your day goes, and how following those nudges creates a very different kind of day for you. If you can think of any other gifts of intuition, I'd love to hear about them. I know these are just a few, but my hope is that you will really realize how valuable your intuitive vibes are. I hope you've enjoyed this little quick snippet about intuition. And like I said, y'all can pick up my book at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Hop on over to iTunes, rate and review the podcast. Get my download for 3 Forces That Shape Your Life. And I wish y'all an amazing, amazing, blessed day. Fantastic week. Always, especially today's episode, always live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.